If your body isn't responding the way it used to, if intimacy feels like a struggle not by choice, but because something inside just isn't working, you're not alone. And here is the truth. It might not be aging, not entirely. Your body could be missing 3 essential vitamins, nutrients it is silently craving. Vitamins that once restored could reignite your energy, strengthen your circulation, and bring back the vitality you thought was lost. Dr. Thalo Markos has spent over 3 decades working with over 60 men who have built families, careers, and legacies, now quietly wondering where their strength and spark have gone. Most men do not lack desire. They lack circulation stamina and hormone support. And the real solution often begins not in a pharmacy but in the kitchen. This video will walk you through 3 key vitamins that every man over 60 should consider. These vitamins are not magic. They are foundational. And when used correctly, they can support natural energy testosterone production and improved performance in all areas of life. But before we go further, let's begin with the most overlooked and most essential one. It is something your body used to make easily, especially with regular time outdoors. But as you age, levels drop. When that happens, blood flow slows, energy fades, and physical function declines. That nutrient is vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin. But for men over 60, it may be the key to restoring strength and confidence. Vitamin D plays a direct role in circulation. It helps blood vessels relax and expand. It ensures oxygen-rich blood reaches every part of your body, including the parts that define masculinity. A man named Paul, 67 years old, once shared a story. He told Dr. Markos that he wanted to be close to his wife, but his body was not cooperating. He was healthy in every other way. That frustration is common, and it often traces back to low vitamin D levels. Most people think vitamin D is only for bones or something kids need. But for older men, it is a vital trigger for male performance. Without it, blood flow suffers, energy declines, and intimacy becomes harder than it needs to be. Over 40% of older adults are deficient in vitamin D. Many of them exercise regularly, eat a balanced diet, and still feel off. They ask themselves why they no longer feel like themselves. And the answer is often in their blood chemistry. Low vitamin D reduces your body's production of nitric oxide, a molecule essential for blood flow and sexual performance. This is not just about sex. It is about energy, clarity, and confidence. The solution does not have to be complicated. Just 15 to 20 minutes of morning sunlight, eating more salmon, tuna, or fortified dairy products. And supplementing with high-quality vitamin D3 can create a noticeable shift in how your body functions. Patients who struggled to walk around the block have regained energy. They reconnect with their partners. They feel awake again. This is not theory. This is real biochemistry. And it is one of the simplest ways to reclaim your strength. But even when blood is flowing well, the body still needs the energy to sustain it. That brings us to the second essential vitamin. If you have ever felt tired for no reason, it may be the missing key. That is what comes next. Vitamin B12 is often overlooked, yet it plays a central role in how energized and alive a man feels, especially after 60. A few years ago, there was a man named Robert. He was 72, a retired firefighter, a proud grandfather, and someone who had always carried himself with strength. But when he walked into the clinic, something was off. Behind his solid frame was a man clearly running on empty. Robert said he was sleeping 8 hours a night. He ate on schedule. But no matter what he did, he still felt like he was dragging himself through the day. His mind felt cloudy. His body was tired, and when it came to intimacy, he simply didn't have the energy. This story isn't rare. It's something that shows up in thousands of men over 60. What Robert was experiencing was a textbook case of vitamin B12 deficiency. And it's a lot more common than most people realize. Vitamin B12 is essential for energy production. It's the vitamin your body needs to turn food into usable fuel. Without it, no matter how clean your diet is or how much you sleep, your system is stuck in low gear. Everything feels harder. Even small tasks feel like a burden. There's less drive, less sharpness, and a quiet sense of disconnection from the parts of life that used to bring excitement. B12 also supports the production of red blood cells. These cells carry oxygen to your muscles, your brain, and to your reproductive system. If you are low on these cells, everything from physical stamina to mental clarity to sexual performance is affected. And here's something many don't know. As you age, your body becomes less efficient at absorbing B12 from food. Even if you're eating meat, eggs, or dairy regularly, it might not be enough to meet your body's needs. That's why many older men who seem to do everything right still feel tired, foggy, or weak, while their blood tests look normal on paper. The solution is straightforward. Supplementing with high-quality B12 can restore clarity and stamina. In more severe cases, a doctor may recommend injections to bypass absorption issues and deliver the vitamin directly into the bloodstream. The result can be dramatic. Men who used to fall asleep after lunch now go on hikes, play with their grandchildren, and feel truly awake for the first time in years. But energy alone is not enough. Your body also needs defense. It needs something that protects blood vessels, reduces inflammation, and supports hormonal balance. That's where the next vitamin comes in. It's known by many as the fertility vitamin, but its role goes far beyond reproduction. This is where vitamin E enters the picture. A man named James, age 70, came in with a story not unlike Robert's. A retired pilot, James was careful about his health. He ate well, exercised regularly, and stayed active. Yet something wasn't right. He told me that he didn't feel like himself. His energy was fading. His desire was dropping. He wasn't bouncing back the way he used to. And he admitted that deep down, he no longer felt like a man. That kind of admission doesn't come easy. James wasn't out of shape or undisciplined. He was doing everything right. But he was missing one critical piece of the puzzle, vitamin E. Vitamin E isn't just a supplement for skin or fertility. It's one of the most powerful antioxidants in the body. As men age, oxidative stress and inflammation begin to damage blood vessels and interfere with hormone production. It happens slowly but consistently. Blood doesn't flow like it used to. Testosterone begins to drop, energy crashes more often, and before long, men start to lose their edge without knowing why. Vitamin E helps stop that process. It keeps blood vessels flexible and supports circulation. And that matters. Because arousal and performance are about more than just desire, they're about blood flow. If blood isn't moving freely to where it needs to go, function suffers. Vitamin E also supports the body's ability to produce testosterone. After 60, that's more important than ever. Testosterone doesn't just impact physical intimacy, it also affects mood, motivation, and a man's sense of purpose. The good news is that restoring vitamin E is simple. Almonds, sunflower seeds, olive oil, and leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard are all excellent sources. And when diet alone isn't enough, a high-quality natural supplement can help fill the gap. Together, vitamin B12 and vitamin E form a powerful duo. One energizes, the other protects. One fuels movement, the other maintains the machinery. And both play a central role in helping men over 60 feel clear, strong, and connected again. What comes next is what happens when all three vitamins D, B12, and E work together as one. That synergy may be the key to unlocking something even greater. Men like James have returned months later feeling sharper, stronger, and more connected to life, their eyes brighter, their voice steadier. Not because of a radical transformation, but because their body finally had the support it needed. This leads to an important realization. What happens when all three of these vitamins D, B12, and E are taken together consistently and in the right form? The answer is synergy. When used correctly, these nutrients do more than restore energy or performance. They create a ripple effect that can change how you experience aging itself. Years ago, there was a patient named Walter. He was 68, a retired high school coach who always valued staying sharp and active. Walter started taking vitamin D to improve circulation. Later, he added B12 when his energy dipped. Eventually, he included vitamin E after learning its role in testosterone and vascular health. But the real change came when he combined all three. Not randomly, not occasionally, but consistently and in balanced doses. He walked into the clinic one day beaming. He said he felt like he had a new engine. That was the power of synergy in action. Each of these vitamins plays a role on its own, but together they reinforce one another. Vitamin D helps widen blood vessels and increase nitric oxide production, improving circulation. B12 supports red blood cell production, carrying more oxygen to tissues. Vitamin E protects those blood vessels and helps regulate testosterone, the hormone responsible for energy focus and masculine drive. Combined, they create what Dr. Thalo Markos calls the vitality triangle: circulation, energy, hormonal support. Three systems working together like gears in a well-oiled machine. This synergy becomes especially critical with age. The body slows down. Nutrient absorption declines. Inflammation builds up. Recovery takes longer. One missing element can throw the whole system off balance. But when you bring all three vitamins together, the body starts to remember. Mornings feel easier. Thoughts become clearer. Reflexes sharper. Confidence returns. Not only physically, but emotionally. A sense of control comes back. Walter was not an isolated case. This same transformation has occurred in countless men who made these nutrients part of their daily lives, yet most men never feel this change. And the reason is one simple mistake: they are taking supplements. But they are doing it wrong. A man named Gerald once came into the office with a grocery bag full of supplement bottles. He was 74, thoughtful, informed, and clearly trying. He laid out the bottles and said he had been taking them for months, but he still felt tired, foggy, and things were not improving in his intimate life. That kind of frustration is common, because the mistake Gerald was making is the same one thousands of men make every day. They believe that taking any supplement is enough, but it is not. Many over-the-counter vitamins are low quality, synthetic, in the wrong form. The body either cannot absorb them or ends up flushing them out before they do any good. Take B12, for example. Most cheap brands use a form called cyanocobalamin, but many older men have trouble converting this into the usable form. What works better is methylcobalamin, the active version the body can actually use. The same is true for vitamin D. D2 is cheaper but less effective than D3, which is what your body naturally produces from sunlight. Vitamin E is no exception. Synthetic E lacks the full spectrum needed for hormone and circulation support. You want natural forms that offer the complete profile of tocopherols and tocotrienols. And there's another common mistake: inconsistency. Taking a vitamin once or twice a week when you remember will not create lasting change. The body thrives on rhythm, on habit. It needs regular support to rebuild, heal, and stay balanced. Once Gerald switched to high-quality forms and took them daily, the difference was dramatic. He had more energy, better sleep, mental clarity, and a quiet confidence that had been missing for years. What comes next is how to take these insights and turn them into a simple, realistic routine that any man can follow every day. Because when you get it right, the results are more than noticeable. They are life-changing. The body thrives on rhythm. It responds best when it receives steady support, day after day, to rebuild energy, restore circulation, and bring hormones into balance. This isn't about chasing a miracle. It's about building a daily foundation that works from the inside out. When Gerald switched to higher quality vitamins and started taking them consistently, everything began to change. In just a month, his sleep improved. He woke up energized, and in his own words, he finally felt like a man again. That transformation didn't come from trying harder. It came from doing it right. Now that the pieces are clear what works and what to avoid, the next step is simple. How do you actually build this into your life without adding stress or complication? That's where the power of a daily routine comes in. one that is simple, realistic, and tailored to support energy performance and vitality. When older men come to Dr. Thalo Markos, they often ask a version of the same question. Just tell me what to do each day. I don't need complicated, I just want something that works. That's a request rooted in wisdom. Because at this stage of life, it's not about fads or trends, it's about consistency, simplicity, a strategy that brings strength back to daily living. Frank, a 66-year-old former carpenter, came to the clinic with low energy, poor sleep and quiet frustration about how his body was changing. Instead of overhauling his lifestyle, Dr. Markos worked with him to create a simple daily plan centered on the essential vitamins. Each morning, Frank started with a full glass of water and took his B12 supplement alongside a breakfast rich in protein. After eating, he went outside for a short walk, just 15 minutes of sunlight, to help his body naturally produce vitamin D. On cloudy days or during winter, he took a high-quality vitamin D3 supplement with breakfast instead. Later in the day, his lunch included a handful of almonds or sunflower seeds and a light drizzle of olive oil over his salad, providing a natural source of vitamin E. That was it. No extreme changes, just deliberate, steady choices. Within a few weeks, Frank felt more energized. He had the stamina to chase his grandkids around the yard. He found new interest in connecting with his wife. And perhaps most importantly, he rediscovered a quiet but powerful sense of confidence. Not because he felt like a younger man, but because he felt like himself again. A stronger, clearer, more grounded version of the man he always was. You don't need dozens of pills or complicated health routines. You need rhythm, the right nutrients in the right forms, and a mindset that says you're still in control of your health because you are. As this journey comes to a close, one final message remains. It's something every man over 60 needs to hear, though few ever do. If you've ever wondered whether it's too late to feel strong again, to feel desired, to feel fully alive, the answer is no. You still have time, you still have the ability, and your body even now can respond. After 3 decades of listening to men from every background, Dr. Markos has heard the same quiet question again and again. Why doesn't my body feel like it used to? That question is not weakness, it is strength. It is the mark of a man who still wants more from life, who still believes in energy, in passion, in connection, and that deserves respect. You've learned about 3 essential vitamins. Vitamin D, the circulation spark, plug, that opens your blood vessels and sends blood flow to where it matters most. Vitamin B12, the energy generator that fuels your brain, your muscles, your stamina. Vitamin E, the fertility defender that protects your heart, supports testosterone, and keeps your system balanced. But the real power isn't in knowing their names, it's in making them part of your life. These nutrients don't just support your biology, they support your identity, your confidence, your presence in your relationships, your ability to wake up and feel like yourself again. This is your moment to act, not tomorrow, not someday, now. Because the path forward is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent and believing that you are still capable of strength, connection, and vitality. The truth is, you haven't lost yourself. You've just been waiting for the right tools to come back home to who you are. Strong, focused, alive, fully you. This transformation is not a theory. It is something that has been witnessed time and time again. Men who once believed their best years were behind them have discovered a second wind, a powerful return to strength, vitality, and connection that changed everything for them. The choice of what comes next is yours. You can take in all this information and set it aside. Or you can act on it. You can give your body what it has quietly been asking for. You can start that morning walk, take that supplement with intention. Make those daily choices that say yes to your health and yes to your future. Because here is what is certain. It is not too late, not even close. You still have time to feel stronger. You still have time to reconnect. And you still have time to be the man you know you are, fully, boldly, and without apology. The first step has already been taken. You are here, you are listening, you are seeking answers, and that alone sets you apart. What matters now is the next step. Building these habits into your life. Staying consistent. Giving yourself permission to feel strong again. This journey is not just about supplements or vitamins. It is about reclaiming the energy, presence, and purpose that define who you are. It is about waking up and feeling like yourself again. Clearer in your thoughts. Stronger in your actions. More connected in your relationships. Your identity, your confidence, and your vitality. They are all still within reach. They do not fade away with time. They simply wait for the right support to rise again. Every choice you make from this moment forward is a step toward that second wind. A step toward a body that feels alive, a mind that feels sharp, and a heart that feels ready. You are capable. You are not too old. And the best version of you might just be the one you are about to become. Take care of yourself. Stay committed. And keep moving forward with purpose and strength. Healthy Hues. Wellness will be right here to support you every step of the way.